I'm feeling a little bit bleary-eyed this morning. It's an early start. Well, early start for me, but most people I think it's kind of normal, to be honest. But
big trip today.
Big trip. Where are we off to?
Scotland.
Not just Scotland. We're off to quite a long way up into Scotland, so just north of Inverness today, and then getting a ferry out to the Outer Hebrides tomorrow morning.
So it's the start of a big 15-nighter, isn't it? Van's packed. Dog's already in there bashing her food bowl around. And you know what it is? I think it's time to go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. How are you liking the scenery so far?
Oh, it's beautiful. But I tell you, I am ready after we've spent about 10 hours in the van. I'm ready to stop.
quite a journey so far.
It has, but it's been a good journey. Good journey. We've not really got stuck in any traffic at all, and it's just been a lot of fun. So, ready to set up camp for the night, and I'm hoping the Riverside Chalet and Campervan Park will be a suitable and enjoyable stay.
Hello. So we've arrived, haven't we?
At the Riverside Chalets, just north of Inverness, about 13 miles north of Inverness, I think it is, and we are next to the river, as you would expect, at the Riverside Chalets and Campsite.
Interesting fact for you, bet you didn't know this. We're also just behind the last shop until you get to Ullapool, and it also sells official NC500 merch. But we're not doing the NC500 merch. I'm not allowed to buy the merch.
They do t-shirts, they do all sorts of
mugs, and the full everything. Not allowed to buy that. Anyway,
I haven't said he's not allowed to buy it. He's just decided that he's not buying
the trip up in the van,
really good.
So started at 8 o'clock this morning. Usual kind of route from the Midlands. So A1, A66, M6, M74, Perth.
A9,
M9, Inverness, and the
I have no idea what road this is. It's the one that goes towards Ullapool.
So, how did we get on in the van?
Really good.
So we split the driving between us, didn't we? I drove about half, the first half, you did the second half. We had two warning lights.
Very random.
So yeah, we had the first warning light when we were going into a Tesco petrol station, and it said the van had too much oil in, which I've never seen that on a van at all.
We haven't put any oil in it.
No, we haven't touched it
since we picked it up about 6 weeks ago.
It's done about 1,600 miles now. It said too much oil. We stopped, had a look at it. It was just probably about 1 or 2 millimetres over the top of the markings on the dipstick. So I think it was just, the van was really hot. Or the oil was really hot. I think you just went round a corner quite quickly. I suspect the level
quickly. I was driving nice.
The level sensor will have just gone up a bit, and it will have just triggered it. We stopped, got what we needed from Tesco, started it back up, and there's not been a light on since. And I've not done anything apart from check it, so not worried about that. And then the second one,
terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I'm doing 70 mile an hour down a dual carriageway, and you get that horrible bing come on, and it tells you that the driver's door open, and I'd literally gone over a bump, and the driver's door, I'd obviously I'd closed it enough that it thought that it was closed, but it hadn't been fully latched. So you go over a bump and you can feel the driver's door's just open slightly, and the van's like screaming at you that the door's open, and I'm like, door's gonna fly open.
Yeah, so we had a sort of that, didn't we?
Yeah.
So just slowed down, opened the door, shut it again, fine. So no issue at all.
Just a little.
So basically the van has been flawless. MPG wise, 38.8 is what it's done on the run. We haven't exceeded any speed limits, but we've driven at the speed limits all the way. So 70 on the motorways, 60 on the single carriageway roads, etc, etc. So followed everything that we needed to. It's not been a problem. And that 38.8 is what it said on the dash, and we calculated it because we filled the van before we started, and we filled it at Inverness. We calculated it, and that was 38.8. So it's absolutely bang on. It's not overreading. It's absolutely bang on.
I'm amazed.
So I'm amazed it's bang on.
Well, no, I'm amazed
at
more
the fuel
about
economy.
the fuel economy. That's incredible, really.
Really good.
Sorry for the wafting. There is the very occasional midge. And I say very occasional, they are very occasional, but...
Now Sarah thinks this is going to save us.
I've been told it has.
Avon Skin So Soft Original dry oil, which feels like an oxymoron to me, but dry oil. And it is quite nice to put on. Apparently that is the saviour, isn't it?
Apparently so. It was quite cheap. I think I paid about £6 for that bottle, something like that.
Smells
nice.
We'll let you know by the end of the holiday.
We've also got one of these citronella candles.
Do you want to put that down?
So that might help also. That's why I said there's only the occasional midge, but I feel the need to.
Yeah. There's absolutely no wind. That's the problem, because I think if it was a bit more windy, obviously that would help it.
Yeah.
But no, beautiful spot here at this campsite. Really nice next to the river. Really peaceful.
Pretty level.
Birds.
It's not far off. We've used the ramps for the pitch we're on, but I'm looking at other pictures and I think it'll be fine, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's all grass pitches. This little shower block. It's perfectly pleasant. Yeah, really nice. And obviously right next to the road, so tomorrow morning just get straight on for the drive up to Ullapool to go and catch the ferry.
Hopefully so.
What are we having then? Oh, daggers. Oh, you can hear the coughing now as well. So this is, we're using the Ridge Monkey on top of the Kadak stove. And so this is a
Chef 2.
Kadak Safari Chef 2. And it can be a little messy, and we're only here for a night, so we're going to have to pack it away properly. So we thought, let's use the Kadak to do it. So it's the special Kadak tongs that we bought from the club shop.
Got nice rubbery ends so you don't scratch your non-stick. This is on as low as it goes.
Man, there's some big burgers. And she's eating already. We do feed this dog, and we do feed her some really nice quality food. But apparently some scorched grass is on the menu.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this Caledonian McBrain vessel.
So we got to Port of Ness, or Port Nis, as it said on the sign, Gaelic.
if we're pronouncing that even remotely correctly.
And we're just going to have a bit of lunch because it's Sunday, everywhere's shut, even the tea rooms and everything else, so that's fine. We've got loads of stuff with us. Thank you to Andrew Ditton, who we watched his videos about the Outer Hebrides, did mention all of that, so definitely check those videos out up here. Have a look, they're really good. It's raining, as you can see, however the view is absolutely stunning. It really is.
I'm going to pan to the view so that they can see.
And for lunch we're going to try making a toasty in the ridge monkey. Now I know for most people that's just like, well, that's what a ridge monkey does. We've never done one. So we've owned the ridge monkey for a while. We've done burgers in it, we've done sausages in it, bacon, you name it, we've done it in it, apart from a toasty. And what I understand is that you butter the bread on the outside, put your filling on the inside, whack it on, jobs are good. And so kind of, yeah. So yeah, let's have a look and see how that turns out. Well, as a first go, this doesn't look too bad to me. Ham and cheese toasty Mark 1. Another quick tip, this silicone lidded container here from Lakeland is brilliant for fresh meats, those kind of things. Just keeping them in the fridge means they don't get squashed. Another essential camping purchase is this silicone thing here, look, which Sarah's just going to put the lid back on for limes.
Well, they call it for lemons, but I like lime in my beer rather than lemon because I don't do gin and tonic. So. And
it's another one of those silicone lidded things, and it's got a seal in it as well, so they don't go off or coat the inside of the Cali fridge. So that's all good. That's an Alessi one, isn't it?
Yeah, the fun bottle opener. Okay.
Cheers.
There's a bit of a red seam going on here, I think, isn't there? Oh, a bit of lime juice spraying around. Clean that off the window later.
Cheers.
Cheers. I offered him a beer. Then he disappeared to do some filming and said he didn't want a beer.
She didn't.
Then I put the beer back in the fridge. Now he wants the beer again.
Oh, that sound. It's a good sound of a beer pouring, that. And today we've got Vocation hop skip juice. Right.
So you can see today I'm being rather optimistic, wearing my summer holiday t-shirt, which has various things from ice creams, seagulls, shells and sandcastles embroidered into it. It's looking a little grey out there though today.
It is, yeah. Quite a bit grey. So, a reasonably eventful day. We've got from the campsite outside Inverness to Ullapool, no issues at all. Got to Ullapool, Ferry, good coffee actually from the coffee shop in Ullapool.
Was actually, yeah, on the main street in Ullapool.
Just behind where the port is. Really, it's a little cafe. Cracking coffee from there, Guatemalan, very nice. Ferry.
I was going to say just before you moved on to that, I really want to go to the seafood shack, but it was a little early doors because we had to check in for the ferry at the latest by 11:45 this morning, and a bit early for seafood for me. But unfortunately, we're not going back to Ullapool. So I saw the seafood shack, I took a photo of the seafood shack, and then we
maybe at some point
boarded the ferry. I waved goodbye to the seafood shack,
but
I do want to try it out. So boarded the ferry. Excellent operation there.
Really good ferry actually. Nice and smooth, quite flat sea today. So
really quiet. And not a lot of vibration actually at all.
Yeah, busy ferry, but quiet in terms of engine and all the usual stuff. Nothing vibrating, everything. You know, like when you're on a cross-channel ferry and the whole thing just shakes.
I wasn't sick. I didn't feel ill.
So you have problems normally.
I do normally have problems. So as far as I'm concerned, that's 2.5 hours of good ferry time that I got on. I stayed on it feeling quite good, and I even managed to drink some tea and had a ginger biscuit as well as my ginger tablet, so all good. And dog was excellent. They're allowed on deck as long as it's in the areas where there's no carpet, which is plenty of those actually to choose from, wasn't there?
Yeah, it's good.
Loads of dogs up there, so yeah, all good.
All good.
Mm-hmm.
Got to the campsite okay. Well, we drove up to
Port of Ness.
Port of Ness.
Stunning.
Really good. Came back down again. Roads are there's just nobody about. I mean, it is Sunday, so it's quiet, but just nobody about at all. Really good flowing roads, nice scenery. Got to this campsite, it's great. However, we have used the SOS button in the van.
On purpose?
On purpose, yeah. So that's the big red button that you get on a T6.1. We have used that today. We've used it because for the second time in 2 days, we've had the oil level too high or overfilled visit garage or visit workshop message on the dashboard. Now, we did check the dipstick before we pressed the SOS button and talked to Volkswagen Assist, and it all looked okay. It was maybe just a little bit above the maximum mark, but not a huge amount. But we thought, we're in the Outer Hebrides now. It's not like there's a Volkswagen dealer around the corner. If something goes wrong, we've got to get this logged with Volkswagen, see what they say. So we pressed the SOS button. On the dashboard, it pulled up our coordinates, it got our VIN number and everything, and the person started talking. So we didn't dial a number or anything else. This all happened after the thing.
Straight away asking us, are you safe?
Yeah.
Are there any issues?
Really good,
you know, are there any sort of problems?
They then asked us if
concerns?
we were okay to share our location with them, which I thought was good. They've obviously looked at the GDPR rules and everything else, so that was good.
Yeah.
So we said yes, and he said, "Oh, you're quite north, aren't you?" But had a bit of a chat. They said they were going to go away and come back to us with some kind of help. Rang back 10 minutes later. It was a technician who rang me back, and we just kind of talked through a little bit, and he said, yeah, that's fine, I do need to get someone out to see you. And then literally 10 minutes after that, a local mechanic
bearing in mind
arrived.
the local mechanic would arrive within about an hour,
Yeah.
so we just carried on doing the washing up and then came out to find the chap from reception sort of walking around the campsite going, where's this 21 plate van that's been recorded a problem?
The local mechanic had arrived 10 minutes after the phone call, came and had a look at it, plugged in his computer and everything, checked it over, and in the time that he was doing all of that, the light's gone off the dash.
Typical.
And we'll wait and see. He checked the oil the same as I did and everything, and it's a tiny bit over, but not a lot. So we'll wait and see, basically, and see what happens. But very impressed with the Volkswagen Assist and the SOS thing. Amazing that, you know, we've had a mechanic out to come and have a look at this in the Outer Hebrides
On a Sunday.
When
literally nothing is
Yeah,
open.
he just came
There's
to
no
the
petrol
campsite.
stations open, nothing.
Yeah, he drove up to the campsite and found us. It's just brilliant. So fantastic service in that respect. And the guy was from Green Flag, or working for Green Flag, which obviously is Volkswagen Green Flag, and then this local mechanic. So I don't really care. We still had somebody out. They've looked at it. They've checked it over. There's no light on now. We'll see what happens for the rest of the holiday. Who knows? But yeah, quite a eventful day.
Bit of an eventful day.
I mean, I wasn't really worried about it after I'd checked the oil myself, but you know, you don't expect warning lights on a
Nobody
21
had
plate
snuck
van,
up
do you?
in the
But
middle of the night and stuck a
added
spare
some more
couple
oil.
of litres of oil in the van.
No.
Bizarrely. This campsite is it's really nice. It's up on the west coast of the Isle of Lewis.
Yeah.
Yes, Lewis. I get my Lewises and my Harrises mixed up because technically Lewis and Harris are one big island. I'd
nice.
imagine if you say that to somebody who lives here, that's definitely not the case, but kind of is. So there's some stunning scenery out this way. Really, really beautiful. Quite wild. Not a lot of trees or anything. Sort of reminds us an awful lot of the North Yorkshire moors, really up high where the Tan Hill was. Of just sort of barren, but actually quite colourful. And I'm going to get criticism for this because I think it's called the macaire, which is the kind of stuff that grows on top of the peat. So there's lots of heathers and things that are all in that, and really, really colourful, sort of purples and pinks and things. It's quite low lying. Lots of sheep around. We've seen some belted Galloway cattle, and there's lots of cattle grids and things. So we drove a little bit past the campsite earlier, and stunning scenery. We saw a kestrel just randomly on the edge of a cliff, didn't we? Looks really beautiful. So I'm hoping that there's going to be some lovely memories we can make, and let Lucy off on some beaches and things whilst we're up here. And we'll head down to Uist 2 or 3 days time. We've got 3 nights at this campsite, this base here, and go and have a pop to Stornoway, and we'll show you around there and various bits and pieces. One really, really epic thing is at this campsite, a lady down the road has decided to start offering cooked breakfast to people who are staying at the campsite. So what was it?
Winner.
Was it $6.95, $7.95?
$6.95.
$6.95.
Takes a card over the phone for payment. Perfect.
Just ring a mobile number before 7 o'clock and they'll deliver it at 8:30 the next morning.
7 o'clock at night.
7 o'clock at night, and they'll deliver it before 8:30 the next morning. And so you get something like 2 sausages, 2 bacon, a piece of black pudding, baked beans.
It's huge.
All manner of stuff. That sounds amazing. So we've ordered 1 between the 2 of us. I don't think we can do 2. But yeah, so we'll report back on that one tomorrow.
So after our first experience of midges this morning, which basically made me feel like my skin was on fire, we've now got these. So let's have a look and see what this is. It's going to be like wearing a stocking.
Oh, burglar Will. Oh, it's got a bit of a peak.
It's got a peak.
Well, not a peak, sorry, just a...
I don't know. Is it meant to... is it elastic or... No,
No, just literally that, and then stick it inside your coat, I think. Oh, look at you. Bring on Scotland. I don't think that's quite how it's going to work, Will.
It's like a burglar. Like, do you have to stretch it tight so it squashes your nose? So
no, please don't do that. You'll break it. Then you'll be sorry.
That is a van essential.
£5.25 for one of them.
Absolutely
bargain.
Essential.
This Will, and they're going to say, how many people exactly are you trying to feed?
2.
Now this is the problem when you send your husband into the butcher's And the butchers say, how many people are you cooking for? And they say 2. And the lady has clearly been told to upsell. That is the problem. I think there's about 3 chickens worth of stir fry in here.
See, you've missed out there because you could have said that you've made that. And you've just now said that we bought it from a butcher's.
Well, we did. That's our whole... We're spending our tourist pounds and keeping the local economy going.
We are. It's almost impossible to think that this is part of the British Isles.